with the possibility of inflation later on, or is it going to be the same amount, the 3-year period that you have to spend the money for the street repair?
Yeah, it's, once the bond is issued and say, and I don't know, I'm gonna say, let me use 10 million, I like that, because I'm an optimistic, and I want it to be. Let's say that we get 10 million. We don't get no more. The inflation, anything else, we don't get any more. The only advantages we get is that as our city grows, and people move in, and our property, those vacant lots that become homes, those homes that are being sold, that as they increase, the bond may be paid off sooner than what we anticipate, because this 2.5 mil, 100% of that goes to the repayment of this bond. And that's what's happening now. We're paying, because the bond that's currently there, we're able to pay it off sooner than when we anticipate.
That's not what I was trying
Okay,
to
and I'm going to ask you, did I answer your question? Because I'm looking at your body language, I didn't.
No, say for instance, you had one street scheduled for repair at the first of the month, okay? Something happens that you cannot do it at that time, the weather condition or so forth like that, so you put it off for a year after that. Is there going to be an increase in the amount that it costs to repair it a year later than it did at the time?
Absolutely, absolutely. And that's what
there goes your money quicker than what you've
well, and
allocated.
then you're absolutely right. It's incumbent upon us to make decisions that we know that once we make, that we can get that road repaired at the price that we anticipate it's going to be. So that's good. That's incumbent. We got to do our job. But now, there's always in these estimates that I have to look here because I get acronyms. CLB did. Every estimate that they've given here, they put in a contingency. And that contingency is for just what you talked about. So that's what I'm saying. Some of these streets, if you look at the projected price, that may be less because that contingency may not be used. So it's, that's where I think it's very not prudent for us to say, well, we're going to repair the street here. That we've got to do it on what money's available, when it's available, and when we can get it repaired. Because we do want to spend your money wisely. We don't want to waste it.
One other thing, you know that right now interest rates are the lowest they've ever been. We've already refinanced some because that means that we don't have to pay as much. Now right now is a wonderful time to refinance anything. And even if they didn't go for both of them, that refinancing would be smart no matter what.
We need both of them.
Yes, we do.
And folks, I know I'm going to open it up. I know hopefully there's some questions now. I mean, if you're not, Paul Hackman and Harold both be mad at me for having to come out here. Nobody can, because I know y'all ask me a question, I can't answer it. But I've got some board directors and employees that can. But is there any concern? I mean, if you disagree with us, let us know where we can find out and where we can address the issues. Because that's very important for us. Because we really do. I'm telling you, I'm asking you, I'm begging you, please vote for both initiatives on June the 26th. Please contact your neighbor and ask them to vote for both initiatives on June the 26th. It is so important for our community to grow. It's so important for us to progress, for us to become a better city than we are. It's an opportunity for us to reach that goal that we have capacity to do. But we got to do it with your assistance. And you've got to agree to it. Because if you don't, we'll be right back to patching. And I know Paul, first thing he's going on, of course, at Country Club Lane, he's going to patch a hole. And 3 months later, he'll be back to Country Club Lane and patch it again. Okay, so that's not what we want to do. Yes, sir.
Does anyone know what the total cost would be to borrow the dam for $8 million? What would the total cost be after you pay it out over the 15 to 20 years that you pay it will be?
Harold?
I haven't seen the debt service schedule, but that would tell it when I get it.
I've got it back in the office, but I don't have it.
Will be considerably less than what we're paying right now.
And one thing that we are to do, we've got to, I think, as we progress along here, we've got to make sure that we will continue looking at our budget. We will continue identifying areas that we can allocate additional funds to our street department where we can maybe have have a cushion, that we don't have to come do this, that we make, and not a big, we're not, probably don't have a $10 million cushion, but we can have a cushion that we can do it, because if you look at some of these, I mean, it's a lot of money, but it's not a lot when you look at the big scheme. And it's not, and said it's just, I'm just asking to do it. I mean, I'm out there on the forefront on it, because I honestly believe that's the best thing for our city. And I will advocate it until y'all tar and feather me and run me off. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am.
Not a question, but a comment. I believe it was Mr. Jones talked about passing a resolution to guarantee, just to let people know that this is for streets and streets only. I think that's an excellent idea.
I mean, you know,
I have never, in all of my voting years, voted for a tax increase. I don't care what it's for. And essentially, it would be, but it's not. Because if we don't do this, our taxes will go down that little bit.
absolutely.
But the streets in this city need to be fixed.
I agree, and, you know, I mean, if,
They need to be maintained. And I understand, you know, I'm a city employee for 26 years. I understand budget. But I think that this is a good way to get our streets fixed.
okay, Mr. Bolton?
You know, in the bond ordinance, for the ballot issue, all of that, there's an ordinance saying that you can't spend for anything but other than streets and roads.
I mean, that's where we worded it that way.
The bond attorney wouldn't allow it to be any other way.
But
I'm
if it-
understanding, I think the rest.
Yeah, no, if that will convince people, any board member can present a resolution and we will consider it. Like I said, a board member has that ability to present a resolution, and like I said, I could vote for it. I guarantee I could. You know, I really believe. I mean, it's redundant.
it's all right.
Okay, but that's okay. If that's what I need to do, get your other votes, I'll do that. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I would just say to Harold that a lot of people don't read ordinances, but they would read the resolution and would understand that better.
Okay. No, game for us. Yes, ma'am.
I think my taxes are probably the best spent money of my entire budget. And I think you said about $100.
Depends on your-
$100,000.
$50 for a $100,000 property.
I have told people in the city, and I mean this with all my heart, if we could see an improvement in our streets, I'd be happy to contribute another $100 a year over and above. We have almost a ridiculously low tax rate. Somebody said, oh, you ought to run for city's council. No, I'd never get elected because I'd run on a platform of raising taxes so we could do something in our city to make it look decent.
And I appreciate it, but I agree with you on, well, I don't agree with you on raising taxes, but I do agree with you on that. I believe that our city spends your money wisely. Now, can you find specific areas that we may have squandered something? Yeah, you can do that anywhere. But overall, if you look at it, you know, you've got water at a reasonable rate. You've got outstanding police and fire protection. Okay, you've got, there are and I've lived in 16 different states, and I'm going to tell you what, this is the first time when I came back to Texarkana, this is my home, and in 16 different states, it's the first time I ever seen that they pick your trash up twice a week. Okay, and so, you know, and the cost associated with it, I can compare prices, and you're right, taxes are low, the cost of living is low, you know, buying water is reasonable, getting rid of water is a little bit higher than getting it, but I understand that after now. Getting rid of your trash is reasonable, especially if you get the opportunity to do it twice a week. What area we're lacking? We need to do the infrastructure. We really do. I mean, that's an area that we're lacking as a city. And that's what I'm asking you to do, is let's fix it. You know, and then I know that I work with the schools as much as I can, and we have outstanding schools, I think. What was it, Jenny, what award that Kilpatrick just received?
Pearson America's Choice Model School.
First one in Arkansas. Okay, and so you look at that. Our schools are doing good. Now, do we need to make sure that the streets are good around the schools? Sure we do. And that's what we need to look at and see. You know, CLB may not have been a criteria for them, a school, but it can be for us. Okay, they looked at, you know, there's this traffic count, the condition of the roads, you know, what it was going to cost to repair it. Some of them just maybe just patching, some of it. Some of this terminology I'm not sure I know, but you know, they weren't doing rated everything. They had a rating system, and traffic count was a major factor in it. So that may not be our factor. We may want to place priority around the schools, but that's what we, you know, that's why we listen to you. You tell us, and you tell us we're going to listen. So, but I do agree with you. I think our city are excellent stewards of your money, and I'm promising you here that we will be excellent stewards of your money that we received from this bond issue. Yes, sir.
I totally agree with you. Our streets do need repair. Driving down Arkansas Boulevard is like you driving cars with potholes. But let me ask this question. How does this fit into our long-range plans as far as the city, what we want to do? And do we have an alternate in case this doesn't?
Unfortunately, our alternate is continue doing what we're doing. Yes.
So how does this fit into our long-range plan as far as getting road repairs?
Well, we don't. You know, I do.
I can answer.
Okay.
It doesn't unless you really go to the public about every 5 years to a bond issue to take care of every section that's in. And in that case, you could easily get up to $60 million and still not fix your problems.
Now this is not. You know, I talked about that 114 streets for the 19 million. That is actually 1/10 the cost if we repaired every street in Texarkana. I mean, we repaired every street. That's about 1/10 of the streets. So, you know, do we need to make sure that we have, you know, we've got a plan? Yeah, we do. But, you know, our plan cannot be, even though I've got somebody here to advocate it, raising taxes to do it, and that cannot be. And we have to look at it and say, what can we do the best we can do, and how we can spend the money the best, and can we, as we progress along, can we set some money aside for streets? And that's what I want to do. But I know that's, you know, I hate to say that's, our alternative is patch. Yes, sir, Reverend Williams.
Well, first of all, if economic growth comes to Texarkana, whether it's north, south, east, or west, at some point, it's going to mean growth and street fixing and a whole lot of other things, even not being perfect, but even in my ward, somewhere along the line, it's going to trickle down. Because you can't have economic growth, you have no kind of progress with other wards involved with the rest of the city. And actually, I think this is about totality of the city. I'm thinking about one ward, half the balance. Get it, and we get it, then we're not going to solve it. That's what I think.
Appreciate it.
I don't care what the growth goes. Well, the economic development, infrastructure, I'm telling you, something is got to come towards 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I agree with you, and I'm optimistic, and Director Davis talked about it. I'm telling you, folks, in 5 years, you're not going to know what 71 looks like now. I will sit here and tell you that if we do our job well, okay, and I'm saying if we do our job well, and encourage growth, and entice people to come here and provide them opportunities and make sure that our community is well preserved, there will be, I mean, just, there are potential out on 71 coming in I-49 when it comes in here. They grow, and we're looking at, for those that, on 82, we've got some opportunities going out there. I think, well, not this week, we've got Randy's Barbecue. I didn't mention Randy's Barbecue. We got an open house there. We've got some other areas, restaurants that's coming in. So you're going to see some growth throughout. Everybody's going to benefit. Everybody. Any other questions, comments? I know that most of you got other things to do. I want to express my appreciation for you coming out. I will leave you with this one word, or one phrase, or one request. On June the 26th, from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m., go to wherever your voting precinct is at. And the initiative is vote for both initiatives. One, to give the city the authorization to refinance the bond. The second part is to require the city to use those funds that are required to repair your roads and streets inside the city limits of Texarkana. I ask you to do that, and I can promise you that the board of directors will be good stewards of that money that's entrusted to us to provide infrastructure improvements for your area, your community, and your city. Thank you very much.